Hey guys, and welcome to this week's episode of Cooking with Ceja. Today we have breakfast on the menu. This is one of my favorite casseroles to make. It's very great for large groups, especially hungover ones. I hope you enjoy. Stay tuned.
It's Cooking with Ceja! Ceja! Cooking with Ceja! Ceja!
The first thing we're going to do is preheat our oven to 350 degrees. Now I'm going to work on my piece of bread. Here I have a loaf of French bread, very French. Take a serrated bread knife, cut it in half. Cut it in half one more time lengthwise, just like so. Then you're gonna cut vertically into 1 inch pieces, and then you put these on a baking pan. Try to have them facing up for you, because we're gonna toast this for a little bit. We're gonna pop these in the oven for 10 minutes at 350 degrees. Usually I just run to the grocery store, grab a dozen eggs, crack them all in a pot. This is like one of those recipes where like family showed up on the weekend, you're like, damn, I need to make something for them. So here we're just gonna do 8 eggs, but 12 is fine. Going back to check on our bread, it's been 10 minutes. You don't want it to start crisping or anything, just to get a nice little shell over the top, which is what this has. So we're gonna go ahead and take this out and set to the side for now. Back in our large bowl, we're gonna add 2 cups of whole milk. And I've actually done this with cashew milk. Cashew milk, once again, is like my favorite substitute for regular milk because it has like a whole nutty flavor that kind of goes well with a lot of these recipes. So definitely feel free to use a milk substitute. Make sure you find some heavy whipping cream. It's half a cup of heavy whipping cream, not just regular whipping cream. We want it to be heavy and thick. Girl! A 1/4 cup of pure raw cane sugar. Just a quick dash of nutmeg. Now 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon. And finally you add 1 tablespoon of dark brown cane sugar. Now you whip it. Whip it good. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na. If you whip this right, your eggs, milk, and cream should be well incorporated. Don't overmix this. Your spices will start floating up to the top just like you see here. That is perfectly fine, guys. We are now going to send our toasted pieces of French bread in for a little bath here. A little rub-a-dub-dub in the tub, you know what I'm saying? Take a spoon or a spatula and you slowly start turning your bread into this mixture we have here so that it can start absorbing all that goodness. Ideally, this can sit overnight or a couple of hours in your fridge, and then the bread will completely absorb all that liquid. You can also add a little more French bread in there if you have another loaf. But we ain't got no time for that. So we are going to take what we have here and pour it directly into our 9x13 baking pan. Actually, I didn't take a ruler and measure this, so I don't know what it is, but here we go. I did add another half of a loaf of French bread. Usually I do this with 2 loaves and a full carton of eggs, or a full dozen eggs. And see, everything is perfectly absorbed in there in my bread. Now, usually I just stick it in the oven, bake it, take it out, serve this with scrambled eggs, maybe a protein like bacon or sausage or whatever it is we got. But this is Cooking with Ceja, and I want to make it special for you. So I thought back to that pear apple pie we made a couple weeks back, and it had a crumb coating over the top, and that's exactly what I want to do with this. And for those of you that don't know, that recipe is up on my blog, itceja.wordpress.com. I'm going to start with 1 cup of flour. I do prefer Pillsbury over Gold Medal. I think it's like a finer texture. It's a little better sifted. I don't know why, but it's always been my go-to flour. So Pillsbury. Definitely not skimping on the sugar in this recipe. We are going to have half a cup of regular cane sugar going in there. You can use granulated white sugar. 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar. Azúcar, dale. Half a teaspoon of salt. And then 1 tablespoon. I'm going to use vanilla powder because I ran out of vanilla extract. So it goes like for like. So 1 tablespoon of vanilla or vanilla powder. Since my vanilla powder was a dry ingredient, I incorporated it with these dry ingredients. So we're whisking this together. until it is fully incorporated. And then we're gonna add some butter. Shoot, I forgot 2 tablespoons of ground cinnamon. That looks like 1. That looks like 2. At this point, I'm a pro, y'all, but y'all make sure to measure that one out. Now that my dry ingredients are mixed, I'm gonna add 6 tablespoons of butter, which I have cut into small little cubes. These are about 1/4 inch square cubes, about 1 centimeter each. I'm gonna take a fork and just start breaking down my butter even more, having it grab my dry mixture without mixing it or turning it into a paste. You want this to be clumpy and just start like clinging to each other to make. This is what's gonna make those crumbles for our crumble topping. Ah, gotcha. I reverted back to my whisk. I forgot this was when you have to get really aggressive and use a whisk instead of a fork. You gotta be like, ah, let out all your daily frustrations. I hate you, alfalfa. Take your crumb coating, or crumb topping, sorry. I'm confusing it with cake terminology, but you got it. This will go into my preheated oven at 350 degrees for 45 minutes. See you later, alligator. And here it is, guys. This is exactly the texture we want to see on the top. The crumble coating or crumble topping has cracked. This is after 45 minutes. And we go ahead and set this down here to cool for a little bit. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen, a nice little presentation. Of course, you don't have to be as fancy as me. A little... a lot of maple syrup over the top. Delicious breakfast recipe, ladies and gentlemen. Even great as a dessert. It's strawberry season, so add some strawberries, some freshly whipped cream in there, some bananas. I got my sisters over here distracting me.
I'm doing homework.
Yeah, well, how were those
meatballs?
Great,
sweetie.
Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Cooking with Ceja. You can rewatch this episode anytime on my YouTube page. Link is always on the bio. I will see you next Tuesday, inshallah. Si Dios lo quiere, God willing.